I actually think that, still per my original prediction on this match, Idamar Alcantara was very much outmatched by Wagner Prado all the way through the first, and for most of the second as well. He was losing on the feet. Prado didn't really have the strength in the blows, though, to actually cause any sort of stoppage. Eventually, Idamar does go to the ground, which is sort of his area, sort of, because when they went to the ground again, half of the time, he was just getting pounded upon down there as well. Prada obviously not aggressive enough, because he could possibly have finished with ground and pound on the ground at that point. He didn't, and because of that, and because of Idamar's ability, I suppose, to continue to look for ways to finish the fight, despite being in a reasonably poor state if it were to go to decision, he gets the leg lock in the end. And I'm so sorry, Toby is singing away. He's got nothing to sing about either. And of course, for that, Idamar actually won one of the bonuses, submission of the night, one presumes. I haven't checked yet. So I was actually quite impressed. Not with his performance, but I suppose with his ability to work with what he's given, even when it's far better. You know, he shouldn't have won that match on the ground or on the feet, but he did, because he was resourceful. Idamar might think of sharing some of his bonus money with Yuri Alcantara. I'm not sure what to make of the fight between him and Pedro Nombre. The real pity is that it couldn't have gone on all 3 rounds, because Pedro Nombre, who I thought was a sort of bit of a no-one, in the first part of the first round, really held his own with Yuri Alcantara. I wouldn't say he was winning, but he was moving so quickly that he was able to get out of submissions that, you know, a lesser person would have been able to. And we don't know if had the fight continued, he might have been able to actually show some offence as well as defence. The match, and you'll have to just ignore Toby, I'm afraid. The match was stopped in the first because of alleged blows to the back of the head. I have to remind you that the referee for this one was Mario Yamazaki, and we all should remember the blows to the back of the head that didn't occur with the match featuring Eric Silva, when he and we thought he had won, only to be called back to be told that actually he hadn't won at all. A very similar situation, except I would say the lines are even more blurred as to whether any of them hit the back of the head or not. Certainly some damage was done, because Pedro Nombre couldn't get up. I think I saw 2 that I would class to the back of the head, but they were before the stoppage. I think there was 2 that were not to the back of the head before the stoppage. So I would say that I recognised the blows to the back of the head at the point where Yamazaki actually warned him. Why he stopped it after that, I don't know, really. I have to say, I think if he stopped it after that, it should have been because it was a finish. Ruled, as far as I know, as a no contest. There are 3 things to consider when talking about the main event. The first one is that the first half of the first round, pretty much nothing happened. You know, there was lots of movement, lots of sort of dancing, as I like to put it, but no physical contact. In the second part of the first round, there is a finger, and it's Michael Bisping that actually gets eye poked. That's something to think about as well. And the final thing is that in the second round, it's a kick rather than a punch that actually sort of fells Bisping, and then it's just sort of followed up. You have to remember what I said in my predictions video, that Vitor Belfort has only lost to people who have already been crowned champions, and in 9 times out of 10 have had a long reign being champion before that sort of problem has occurred. So in a way, Michael Bisping wasn't really qualified, and I think that he didn't do as badly, anywhere near as badly, as I thought, actually. I don't suppose they'll be doing anything with title matches, you know, now. But of course, he's only got to come back from this on one fight, I think, and it will be contention all over again. I don't think that it was the sort of domination that means that he could never recover. It was pretty much, you know, he held his own, I suppose, in the second part of the first round with the eye poke. That sort of kind of cancels out anything that Vitor Belfort brought to that round, I suppose. And in the second, it was sort of just a kick that he didn't manage to defend. It wasn't like he was pummeled for hours and hours and hours. The pummeling was just to sort of follow it before it was stopped. You know, Khabib could have moved a little sooner. There are a lot of people who like the sort of dancing about bit before the actual fight, sort of before the contact's made. I am not really a big fan of that. I sort of just want to see them hit each other. And there was a little bit of that, you know. If you actually took out all the time they spent dancing around, you'd probably only have about 30 seconds of action. Certainly his springy way of shooting a sort of punch by taking off actually physically from the canvas may have helped, I suppose, with the end, where he sort of hit Thiago Tavares mid-air, and then finished up with, well, it wasn't hammer fists, was it? It was sort of elbows into the ear. You know, at least in this position, Thiago Tavares was lying on his side and not on his back, and the referee was not Mario Yamazaki. So I suppose in both respects there, Khabib was okay, because, you know, he wasn't going to hit the back of the head or anything. So yes, I'm going to give my Fighter of the Card award to Khabib there.